Welcome back, baseball fans, to another edition of the MVC First Pitch, our town baseball coaches throughout the Valley. And it is Lance Rhodes' turn from SIU, 26-9, 4-2 in the league. Well past the halfway point in the regular season, Coach. 4-2 in the league, maybe a state of the union for Saluki baseball right now.
I think it's we're in a good position right now. We feel solid with our team. Had it just coming off a bye week, so trying to get our ducks in a row to head back into conference play. And we only were able to get 2 games in due to some weather this past weekend. But just excited to get back on the field on a midweek game and then get down on a long bus trip down to Dallas and then square off obviously against a really good Dallas Baptist team at their park. And we know how tough it is to go down and win on the road and on any Valley weekend, but especially down there. Before we get there, how do you get your players maybe to, I don't know if ignore is the right word, but put on hold the RPI talk or the RPI refresh on the computer every time you beat somebody? Too early for that, or rather than not deal with that at all? No, we definitely don't shy away from talking about things like that. And we want our guys to understand what it really takes to get into a postseason. So we try to educate our guys as much as we can. Our RPI isn't in the greatest position right now, but we've got some road games coming up with some opponents that have some pretty good RPIs to where we can hopefully make up some ground. So our guys are educated on it. We're not scared to talk about it. But at the end of the day, we got to get back to working on just ourselves and playing good baseball, because if we don't do that, if we don't play good baseball and win games on the field, it's not going to matter anyway. So at the end of the day, we just got to continue working hard and going out on the field and playing quality baseball, and hopefully at the end of it all, we win enough good quality games to be in the discussion of hopefully having a chance.
2 years in a row now, or at least 2/3 in a row now, where your offense is front and center in the Missouri Valley Conference, headed by JT Weber, of course. He's having another monster year. He's kind of had a Robin to his Batman, Kaber Rog, a guy that was born in the Netherlands, spent a couple of years in Florida, and now he's up among the nation's leaders in hits. So how did you keep the ball rolling offensively after a monster year last year?
We've added some new quality pieces to it. When you mentioned Kaber, he's probably one of the best guys that I've ever seen as far as just being able to put the bat on the ball. He's got a unique style. I know a lot of people have probably seen some stuff on social media, but he's got a really unique stance or unique leg kick, and it just kind of looks like it wouldn't really work. And but he's got probably the best ability that I've ever seen to find a barrel. And that's early at the part of the season, we had Rog hitting in the 2-hole and JT hitting in the 3, and we kind of flipped that one to give JT a little protection behind him. And then, Kaber's kind of his own protection because of, he can hit like some just pitches that you wouldn't think anybody could put the bat on the ball. He can. He's just got a unique ability to find the barrel with the bat. He's just been a phenomenal hitter for us ever since he stepped foot on this campus, honestly.
I would say if you go on first blush that he's picking up the slack for Cody Cleveland, because he's not hitting what you would expect from last year to this. But I see he's walked over 30 times, so he's still in the middle of things offensively for you guys, isn't he?
Yeah, Cody, from the average standpoint, we thought it would be a little higher this year, but when you look at his on-base percentage and the runs scored, he's still bringing a lot of value to our program offensively. And, he's battled some things this year where, a little bit, nothing that's held him out of playing, but he's had some just knick-knack injuries that's been kind of tough for him to play through. So he's doing everything that he can for our program. And, it's just a thing where I know he's probably frustrated because, players, they love to look at the average and they want the average to be higher. But he's a really smart kid. He's a smart baseball player for us. And I think he understands the value of what he's doing, even though he's not hitting as high as of an average as he would like to. But he's still getting on base. right in front of the middle part of our order there a lot and scoring a lot of runs.
What would you say has been the biggest turnaround with Mike Hansel? He's got 5 wins and an ERA about 3.5 for you. He's been good.
Yeah, he's been super solid. You know, he's a guy that really, over the summer this year, he didn't go out and pitch. He really dedicated himself to the weight room, getting in better shape. And, you know, he tightened up his breaking ball. The slider that he had was kind of a little bit of what you would probably call like a get me over loopy type of slider last year, where he could get a strike from it, but he just couldn't necessarily strike out anybody with it. So that's become a much better pitch this year. And I think, you know, just like a lot of kids, just having that 1 year of Division I experience under their belt, now being able to go out there and, you know, he showed a lot of good things last year, just wasn't like consistent enough. He would go out and throw flashes of, you know, 1 or 2 really solid innings and then kind of take a step back and have a bad inning or 2. And the outing just ended up being just pretty average. But this year, he's been able to put, you know, 2 good innings together. He's been able to put 3, 4, 5 pretty good quality innings together. And, you know, his innings are down a little bit just because he was battling some arm issues at the beginning of the season. So he actually started out in the bullpen and worked his way up with pitch count throughout the beginning part of the season. And, you know, has been in, you know, the starting role for probably the last, you know, 4 or 5 weeks. But he's just been super solid for us.
You got 9 losses against 26 wins. So this question may be elementary, but your longest losing streak hasn't even been a streak. It's been 2 games. And every other time that you lost 1 game, you've come back with a win. Is there a key to that with this bunch?
You know, I think the one thing that we try to preach all the time is that, you know, one, we want to win the series. And, you know, just because you lose a game doesn't mean you can't, you know, hang in there and win a series. So, you know, I think a lot of it has to do with just the maturity that we have on our team. Like a lot of teams in college baseball, we're very mature. We're very old as a group. I don't think our guys get really flustered when we lose 1 game. I truly think that they believe that every single time we step on the field that we're going to, you know, we are going to win. And, you know, just because we lose a game, I don't think they really let it affect them too much. And they come back out the next day expecting to win that game.
I'm not saying anything, but Elvis Dominguez was on with me last week, and then Bradley, won the series against DBU. So just saying.
Well, I hopefully that streak could continue then. But no, it's going to be a tough weekend. I mean, we know going down to their place. I looked at the weather this morning. It looks like it's going to be really warm down there. So I'm ready for that. I'm ready to get some warm baseball type of weather. But it'll be a good you know, weekend for us to be able to go down there, play great competition in a really nice venue. I've actually never been down there, so looking forward to getting down there myself.
Safe travels and go get them, Coach. Time is
Appreciate
over.
it. Thank you.
Okay, next time on the MVC First Pitch, Illinois fans, we will have Steve Holm talking to every Redbirds. That's on the next Missouri Valley Conference First Pitch.